In this episode, I'm gonna share a combination of daily things and also rig inspections on 2 different catamarans. Also introducing you to a very sympathetic family with a brand new catamaran and waffles and tacos with my friend.
Having waffles and watching Eurovision.
So some of the cool things with being delayed is I actually have time to focus on details. There is a lot of details on this boat. But like places like here, if you don't pay attention to it, you will soon have like rust stains down here, because the climate here in the Caribbean especially is very hard to your boat. So it's just to make sure that it looks nice and tidy in all places. Then to get the really nice overall impression, you need to focus on details, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. And if you watched earlier episodes, you know that even here in Martinique we got some dust from the volcano, and I'm still trying to clean up and make B3 shine bright like a diamond again.
Hello Thomas, I have good news.
So the parts we are waiting for is on its way and will be here in just few days. And more good news for me, as I'm invited to join a rig inspection on 2 different catamarans.
So this is the rig control, but it's in French. So these are all the parts we checking out on rigging. So actually the first check we check if the aspect is correct or not. If you have to survey it.
Qui permet de faire beaucoup de câbles et différents câbles. Donc après on l'allume comme ça.
With this tool he can measure the tension on almost all kind of wires, from diaphragm to regular steel cables, and of course all kind of different diameters. Most yachts have a diagram telling how much tension different cables are supposed to have. Not only did these cool guys allow me to film their professional work, but also Sven and his lovely family from Belgium invited me on board their brand new lagoon, as they are doing a rig inspection here. I'm always keen on learning new things or see different ways of doing things. It's not so often I have seen this work on catamarans, so that Tina and Sven open their beautiful home to me is such a privilege.
Hello, my name is Tina,
Hi, my name is Sven.
and we are the proud owners of our new catamaran, Noma.
Cool.
That's Lagoon 46, by the way.
Yes, we just started sailing last October. We started in France, and now we are in the beautiful Martinique. It's amazing, we love it here.
That's awesome. And Sven even took time to show me some features of their beautiful catamaran. The reason why I met you guys are because we are here in the same kind of business, in rigging, right?
Yes, today we got an appointment with the rigger. We wanted to inspect their rigging because after crossing the Atlantic they advise you to make an inspection on the tension of the stays.
This is normally recommended from most yacht manufacturers short time after delivery, and very wise to do after your first longer passage with a new boat. This is not only for catamarans, it's also recommended for monohulls. As you can see, there is some difference in a multi-hull rig and a monohull rig, and I'm gonna say a few more words about this further out here. The basic principles are more or less the same. It's the diamonds, as they call it on catamarans, that trims your mast straight. Same function as on a mono with the side stays, but there is some difference in the really important things to check. Depending on how much you sail and also in how rough weather you have enjoyed, a frequent rig check is clever and don't cost much. Yearly inspection can save you big money in terms of discover things early. I'm really happy to hear you take this seriously and that you really want to check your rig even on a brand new boat. That's good.
Yes, safety is everything. I mean, yeah, safety. We take
And we take advice from other sailors because we're newbies. So yes, we just listen to what people say and we tend to follow their advice.
Smart move, as they actually do the right things. One thing is a full refit, as I point out in Rigging Series Part 1. Another thing is the rig inspection that costs so little money. I would say Tina and Sven is smarter than lots of long-distance sailors I met. In addition to visual inspection on all fittings, the tension measuring also can tell you lots of things. Not only if the mast is not straight, it often can tell you to look for some fittings that needs to be replaced. Normally on a new rig like this you only need fine-tuning, but things can happen. Even if you have a rig in perfect condition, a fine-tuning now and then gives you peace of mind, and as a bonus, better performance and reduced risk of unexpected issues. If you're a monohull sailor like me, you probably noticed that lots of catamarans don't have a backstay. But that's partly true, as the side stays double up as backstay and side stays. Often quite thick cables and massive fittings compared to a monohull at the same size. And this is what we are checking right now. Every single cable is tension tested and the data readout is written down to the inspection form, as every cable on a sailboat has a number and a name. This experts works as a great team and know exactly what to look for.
On rigging, so actually the first check we check if the aspect is correct or not.
What I learned today was something I actually have not reflected over before, and that's even though a rig on a cat looks simpler than a mono on a distance and have combined side and backstays, the number of cables and complexity is greater than most modern monohulls. I'm pretty sure Tina and Sven gonna share the full experience on their YouTube channel in the near future.
Yeah, and they have a YouTube channel, and please
subscribe. Oh no, this is the channel.
So please subscribe.
Click the button if you like it.
But these guys are not done for today, and we are upscaling a bit to a Lagoon 620. As I point out in earlier episodes, things grows fast with bigger yachts, and I'm gonna be a human model here to show the dimensions in perspective.
don't lick it, man.
This catamaran is only 7 feet longer than B3, but look at these crazy massive dimensions on everything. I'm happy my wallet is not paying for refitting on this beauty. While the rigger is preparing his gear to go up, I'm gonna show you one of the most critical places on a catamaran. This arch and cable is critical for the tension of the forestay, and it's really important to maintain and keep an eye on. The fun part, it's actually something we know very well from old school yachts. It's just upside down and rotated compared to a monohull, but the principles are exactly the same. Its mission is to support the bowsprit, or on a catamaran the aluminium beam, and compensate for the upward force with strength downwards. If this fails, in worst case it could give after and the power and weight of the mast could make it come down. This Lagoon 620 have double up of monster cables on the sides, because the mast is so tall. Starting on the top, inspecting fittings, wheels and joints, then working their way down, checking tensions on all cables together with a visual inspection. And of course, with his experience and trained eyes, he found a few things that needed to be addressed. After the mast with spreaders and cables is measured and inspected, it's time for the boom with blocks and fittings. So many parts and critical things on a sailboat, no matter make, model or size. And this magician found a few things even here. If you don't want bad news, don't let this guy on board. However, if you like me, rather have a surprise in the yard than out at the Big Blue, this is a very comforting thing to watch. And my experience, it's so much better to have it here than out on the Big Blue.
That's broken.
I'm definitely no expert, but do have some miles under my belt. That's why I love the fact I learned so much these days being around these friendly, knowledgeable guys. Of course you can inspect your rig yourself, and you should. In fact, it's a very good idea to do that pretty often, as I can promise you it's gonna save you money. It should be just as normal as checking the oil on your engine. However, as a long-distance sailor, I would recommend once a year a qualified rig check done by professionals. These guys take several yachts on a daily basis, and their eyes and skills gets lots of practice and experience. They see things even the best sailor with great love for his yacht would not see this quick. And you might even get some answers you don't like. But as I said, I'd rather have an unpleasant surprise in terms of needing service after inspection than being surprised out at the big blue. It's fair enough if you can't afford a rig inspection or even more expensive, a full refit. But please remember this, it's not the human right to cross oceans and it costs money. If you can't afford safety, you can't afford crossing oceans. Better be crew on a safe and well-maintained yacht instead. Coastal sailing is a different story. May is a month full of holidays, making me delayed, but also time to learn new things and to hang out with Hannah.
Having waffles and watching Eurovision.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we are making waffles. Can't be more Norwegian than this.
Spørs om det her er som rips.
Norway! None of us are really hardcore Eurovision fans, but we found out we could do like lots of Norwegians to support our artists with a tiny party on board Be Free. And this show takes lots of time, so we ended it with tacos home style and with a few beers.
Nei, skal vi se på det. Det går jo ikke an. Jeg får det her da. Jeg tror jeg må ha kniv og gaffel inn.
It's been a really positive vibe over this marina the last days. Happy people and feel good atmosphere because restaurants and bars are allowed to open again. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and the next will be about Be Free again, getting the mast back. Also want to thank you all for sweet comments and welcome aboard to all the new subscribers. Stay safe, stay healthy, and all the best from me to you. Cheers!
Things are moving along and I'm picking up speed. I'm singing my